Your child's brain is being built right now. Not next year, not when they start school, right now. And the window of opportunity to shape that brain in the most powerful way possible is closing faster than you think. Between birth and age 7, your child's brain forms over 1 million neural connections every single second. 1 million. Every conversation you have, every book you read together, every moment of play, every response you give when they're frustrated or curious. All of it is literally wiring their brain. And here's what most parents don't realize. Intelligence is not something your child inherits. It's something you build together, starting today. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 7 proven things that truly build a smart child based on neuroscience, not guesswork. And I'm also going to show you the common habits that accidentally do the opposite. The things that seem helpful but actually slow down development. Because if you're raising a child under 7, especially a toddler or preschooler, this might be the most important parenting information you ever come across. The choices you make now will echo for decades. Let's start with why ages 0 to 7 matter so much. During these years, the brain is in what neuroscientists call a critical period. This is when the architecture of the brain is being formed. Think of it like building a house. You can decorate a house later, you can renovate, you can add furniture. But the foundation, the structure, the wiring, that gets set early. And if the foundation is strong, everything else becomes easier. If it's weak, you'll spend years trying to compensate. By age 3, a child's brain is already 80% of its adult size. 80%. And by age 7, the core pathways for language, emotional regulation, problem solving, and social skills are largely established. This doesn't mean your child's future is set in stone at 7. The brain remains adaptable throughout life. But it does mean that what happens in these early years creates the baseline, the default setting that everything else builds on. So what actually builds a smart child? Not flashcards, not baby Einstein videos, not pushing academics early. Those things might seem productive, but research shows they're largely ineffective and sometimes even harmful when used too early. Real intelligence, the kind that predicts long-term success, is built through connection, language-rich environments, play, exploration, emotional safety, and consistent routines. Let me break that down. The first thing that builds a smart child is responsive interaction. This is when you notice what your child is interested in and you respond to it. If your baby points at a dog, you don't just say, "dog." You say, "Yes, that's a dog. Dogs have 4 legs and they bark. Do you hear the dog barking?" That back and forth, that serve and return interaction is what wires the brain for communication, attention, and thinking. Every time you respond to your child's gesture, sound, or question, you're strengthening the neural pathways that build intelligence. The second thing is language exposure. And I don't mean teaching your toddler to read at age 3. I mean talking to them constantly, narrating your day, describing what you're doing, asking open-ended questions, reading books out loud every single day. Research shows that children who hear more words, especially in conversational contexts, develop larger vocabularies, better comprehension, and stronger cognitive skills. The number of words a child hears before age 3 is one of the strongest predictors of academic success later on. Not the number of flashcards they see, the number of words they hear in real conversations. If this is already resonating, if you're realizing that raising a smart child isn't about expensive programs, but about how you show up every day, do me a favor. Hit that like button right now. Drop a comment and tell me how old your child is and what you're most excited to learn from this video. And subscribe to the Parenting Blueprint, because we're here to give you research-backed strategies that actually work. We also have a membership with 2 exclusive levels that give you early access to videos, bonus content, and a community of parents committed to raising smart, confident kids. If you want that extra support, check it out below. Now, let's continue. The third thing that builds a smart child is unstructured play. Not scheduled activities, not educational apps, not organized sports at age 3. Just free, open-ended play where your child gets to explore, imagine, create, and problem solve on their own terms. When a toddler stacks blocks and they fall, their brain is learning about gravity, cause and effect, and persistence. When a preschooler pretends a cardboard box is a spaceship, they're building creativity, narrative thinking, and executive function. Play is not a break from learning. Play is how young children learn best. The problem is, many parents today are overscheduling their children or replacing play with screens. And while screens can seem educational, they're mostly passive. The child is receiving information, but they're not manipulating objects, testing ideas, or creating solutions. Their brain is consuming, not building. Real intelligence comes from active engagement with the world, from touching, moving, experimenting, failing, and trying again. That's what play provides. The fourth thing is emotional co-regulation. This is when you help your child manage big feelings by staying calm and present when they're upset. When your toddler has a meltdown and you respond with patience instead of punishment, you're teaching their brain how to regulate emotions. Over time, your calm becomes their calm. This is critical because emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage emotions, is one of the strongest predictors of success in life. Smarter than IQ. Children who can regulate their emotions focus better, solve problems more effectively, and build stronger relationships. The fifth thing is consistency and routines. The developing brain craves predictability. When bedtime happens at the same time every night, when meals follow a pattern, when there's a rhythm to the day, the child's brain feels safe. And a brain that feels safe is a brain that can learn. Chaos, inconsistency, and unpredictability put the brain into survival mode, which shuts down the learning centers. This doesn't mean you have to be rigid, but it does mean that having general routines for sleep, meals, and transitions helps your child's brain develop the executive functions that support focus, memory, and self-control. The sixth thing is exposure to rich, real-world experiences. Take your child to the park. Let them dig in the dirt. Go to the library. Visit the grocery store, and let them help pick out vegetables. Talk about what you see. Ask them what they notice. These real-world experiences build vocabulary, curiosity, and understanding in ways that no app or video ever can. The brain learns through sensory input. The more varied and rich that input is, the more connections the brain makes. And the seventh thing, the one most parents overlook, is your presence, not your performance. You don't need to be the perfect parent. You don't need to have all the answers, but your child needs to know that you see them, that you're available, that you're emotionally present. When you put down your phone during dinner, when you make eye contact during conversations, when you get down on the floor and just be with them. That presence builds secure attachment. And secure attachment is the foundation for everything else. Children who feel securely attached to their caregivers are more confident, more willing to explore, more resilient, and better able to form healthy relationships throughout life. Now let's talk about what doesn't build a smart child, because this is where many well-meaning parents go wrong. Pushing academics too early doesn't help. Teaching your 3-year-old to read might seem impressive, but if it's forced or stressful, it can actually create anxiety around learning. Early academic pressure has been linked to increased stress, lower motivation, and burnout later on. The brain isn't ready for formal academics before age 6 or 7. What it is ready for is play, exploration, language, and connection. When you focus on those, the academics come naturally later. Excessive screen time is another major problem. Screens are not neutral. They're designed to be addictive even for adults. For young children whose brains are still forming attention systems, prolonged screen exposure can weaken focus, delay language development, and reduce the time spent in the activities that actually build intelligence, like play, conversation, and movement. I'm not saying screens are evil, but they should be minimal before age 7. And when used, they should be high quality, slow-paced, and co-viewed with a parent who talks about what's happening. Another habit that doesn't build intelligence is overpraising or praising the wrong things. When you constantly tell your child, "You're so smart," you're teaching them that intelligence is fixed. And when they encounter something hard, they think, "If I'm so smart, why is this difficult? Maybe I'm not smart after all." But when you praise effort, persistence, and problem solving, you worked really hard on that puzzle. You didn't give up even when it was tricky. You're teaching them that intelligence grows through effort. This is called a growth mindset, and it's one of the most important things you can instill in your child before age 7. Also, be careful about overstimulation. Too many toys, too many activities, too many choices can overwhelm a young brain. Children actually play more deeply and creatively when they have fewer toys. They focus better when their environment is calm and organized. Simplicity supports brain development. Chaos disrupts it. So here's what I want you to take away from this video. You are your child's biggest advantage. Not the preschool you choose, not the toys you buy, not the classes you enroll them in. You, your words, your patience, your presence, your willingness to get down on the floor and play, your commitment to reading every night, your calm response when they're upset. These are the things that wire a brain for intelligence, confidence, and emotional strength. And the beautiful part is, none of this requires money. You don't need expensive programs or fancy materials. You just need intentionality. You need to understand that these early years matter more than you ever imagined, and that the small, everyday choices you make are building your child's future right now. Here's your action plan. Starting today, talk more to your child. Narrate your day. Ask questions. Read together every single night, even if it's just one book. Protect playtime. Turn off the screens and let them explore, build, imagine. Respond to their emotions with calm and empathy. Create simple, consistent routines. And most importantly, be present. Put the phone down. Make eye contact. Show them that they matter. If you do these things consistently from birth to age 7, you're not just raising a smart child. You're raising a child who loves learning, who believes in themselves, who can handle challenges, and who feels deeply connected to you. That's the foundation for everything. That's how you set your child up for a lifetime of success. Before we close, I need to hear from you. Hit that like button if this video gave you a new perspective on what truly matters in early childhood. Drop a comment and tell me, which of these 7 things are you already doing well, and which one do you want to focus on more? Let's learn from each other. And subscribe to the Parenting Blueprint, because every week we bring you strategies like this that are grounded in science and designed for real life. Share this video with a parent who's raising a young child. This information is too important to keep to yourself. Remember, intelligence is not something your child is born with or without. It's something you build together. One conversation, one book, one moment of play, one calm response at a time. You are shaping a brain. You are shaping a life. And now you know exactly how to do it. The most important years are happening right now. Don't wait. Start today. Your child's future is counting on it.